to my channel. It's your girl tonight, 𝒊𝒏𝒕𝒆𝒅, and I'm so excited to see each and every one of you here today. To all my new subscribers, welcome to the Bella Gang. To all my former subscribers, welcome back. And this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscription button because you don't want to miss another upload. Now, because this is a beginner-friendly video, I will be showing you the items that I like to use for beginners. My very first item that I love to use, and I definitely recommend for anybody starting off, like I said, my brows usually are hit or miss. Sometimes it's like, yes, baby, and other days it's like, no, honey. I like to use the NYX brow pencil, the micro. I love to use this because it helps you with precision. You can draw it on really good. You can spool up your hairs. There's no reason for you not to get it. And I also like to use the NYX Tame Frame pomade because I feel like the pomade gives it that extra tint that you need for the brows to like look really snatched when you get done with it. So that looks like this. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it looks like this. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is finish drawing on my brow, and yeah, just watch. Now, because the front of my brows are really thick, I don't even go to the front of my brows like that. I just hit up the ends of my brows and, you know, give it that high lift that I want it to have. And I do my ends, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fill it in with the pomade. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and stroke up in the front, and that gives you basically like the fading effect into the brows. Do little hair like strokes because I feel like once I like fade it in, it gives me the perfect fading looking effect because I'm also brushing it up as if it was my own brow hair. Now don't get too crazy with this and be having unibrow. That's not what you want. That's not what we're going for. So now that I have my guide with my eyebrows, so I've drawn the top on, I've drawn the bottom on, I filled in the back to like what I feel like I want it to look like. I'm gonna go into my pomade with this brush. It's really good. It's really good for precision. I've had this brush for years. Don't feel like you have to get a new brush. Whatever you have, baby, it's gonna work, okay? You better make it work. So I'm gonna go into my pomade. I'm gonna get about this much, I don't know if you can see that, about this much of product. And I'm basically gonna go ahead and fill the areas that I feel like is sparse of hair. So now that I've filled in the back of my brows to what I really want it to look like, I'm going to use the spoolie to get out any excess product that may be in it. But notice that I'm starting from the back. The reason why I'm starting from the back and brushing it up is because I'm going to go ahead and use my concealer to conceal it in, but I also want some of the leftover product that's left over on the back of my brows to use it for the front of my brows when I go ahead and scoop it up. Now, the best way to measure where your brows need to stop is to go with the curvature of your nose and stop like where your nose starts to curve in. What you don't want to do is, you don't want to get a unibrow and be going way over here and then having to like clean up because that's not the look you want, honey. see it. It's already fading in, right? So all I have to do now is conceal it and you got a brow. Because we're going for a natural look, I'm gonna go ahead and use the color Fawn. Fawn is like my skin color. Literally, if I put it on my dark spots, I really don't need to wear makeup, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the color Fawn for my brows to go ahead and conceal my brows with the Morphe 421 brush, M421 brush. The reason why I like to use LA Girl is because they have the brush on there, the little, I don't know what it's called, this little thing right here, and it helps with, you literally could just follow the tracing of your line. Now what you don't wanna do is, you don't wanna squeeze too much out like how I have here. You don't want to have too much on, and then when you put it on your brow, boom, it's over, it's over, it's over. So what you want to go ahead and do is you can also put it on your brush. Also, you can put it on your brush and then follow the curvature of your line, but for a beginner, you might want to just use this. See how much product is on there? Little to none. And then I'm going to show you how to do it on the top of my brows and then do the bottom with my brush. See? You see what I'm saying? You don't want to have too much product on there. So you want to start off at the top to get it, that little finesse. You know what I'm saying? Get it smoothed out, smooth that baby right on in, and then start to make your way down to your brows. Over and down. So you want to go ahead and go down with that, right? Down with that. Then you're going to follow up by using your brush and doing the bottom of your brow and then closing it in. So let's go ahead and do that together. See how I closed that in with the pen? I went ahead and closed that in with the brush. That's why you want the brush. You want to go ahead and have something that can also help you be very precise on how you want your tail end of your brows to end. Now, because I like the thick look on my face, that's why I kind of leave my brows looking thick and, just cleaning it up with the brush. Now, you could go ahead and bring your concealer out to the other brow if you really want to, because all you're gonna go ahead and do is, I'll show you next. So you see how I have that fade effect? It's going from light to dark, and then it gets really, really dark at the end, which is what I really want. That's how I really like to wear my brows. Now, like I said, sometimes my brows is a hit or miss. Don't judge. Now you see how I had that extra concealer that I accidentally put there in the beginning, and now I'm trying to clean it up, and now it's taking away from the shape of my brows. No problem. What you're gonna go ahead and do is fix it with the pencil. Go back in with the pencil and just draw those hairs back on that you had there before. Yeah, I be struggling with my brows for real. Oh my gosh, my brows and me, we go through it all the time. So I went ahead and did that. Now it looks crazy. And then you're gonna go back in with your brush, and with your brush, just clean it back up to your desired look. And baby, we have brows. And now it doesn't look so crazy anymore. So the next thing you're gonna do is get a buffing brush. I'm using this Real Technique, it's called Deluxe Crease Brush, but I use it to buff out my anything, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna just go ahead and buff it out. Now sometimes if you are not a person who like really wanna wear foundation, you could buff this out. Make sure you get a concealer that is your complexion. Your complexion, not my complexion, your complexion, and buff it in. And if it matches your skin, like I don't know if you can see that. Hold on, let me see if it's looking like that good on camera. So as you can see, once I buffed it into my skin, you cannot see that I really have concealer. You see that I have a really snatched brow, but you cannot see that I have concealer. Like it's not very prevalent. Like it's not like boom, I'm here. So buff it out all around. You're gonna buff it in the middle. Don't buff it next to the brow. In the middle, as far as possible as you can go, that you see you have extra concealer at. Buff it down underneath it. And remember, we're trying to hide hair that's not supposed to be there, but because my hair has grown back, I need to put a little bit more concealer on my brow to get rid of that hair that I can see. I don't want that hair to be there, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more product under here and use my brush to, so I'm gonna put a little bit more product under my eye because I have hairs that are showing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use my brush to wipe it down and then buff it down. So I'm gonna tap that in because remember, we're trying to conceal these brows. We trying to hide the hairs that are not in the places that they're supposed to be. But this is the shape that I want my brows to be for the most part. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tap, tap, buff it in, you know, go in circles, buff it in, buff it in, buff it in, go in circles, and boom, we have brows. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my other brow off camera and I'll be back. Okay, so we are back with brows that don't look the same, but it's okay though, because I'm gonna have hair covering one of those brows. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscription button right here, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and head over to my channel so you can see all my other videos. I'm pretty sure you'll learn something from those too. As always, I love you. Bye.